yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence "Bud" Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
I don't judge, and the old timers didn't either, fighters chronologically as much as I do by the amount of fights they've had and the amount of punches they've taken. I judge them that way.
Because he definitely had the skill of a top five, just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get. And that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody.
Terence Crawford's recent unanimous decision win over Canelo Alvarez has reignited one of boxing's biggest debates, whether his legacy and abilities surpass those of Floyd Mayweather Jr., long considered the benchmark of modern greatness. The performance against Canelo was not only historic for the result, but for the manner in which Crawford achieved it. Moving up 2 weight classes to super middleweight, he controlled the fight with technical brilliance, stance switching, and ring intelligence, neutralizing Canelo's famed power and pressure.
Crawford outboxed Canelo, made Canelo miss, stood right in front of him when he was supposed to, he moved when he was supposed to, made it look easy. He beat Canelo Alvarez better than Floyd Money Mayweather, which makes him better than Floyd Money Mayweather in my opinion.
The reaction began almost immediately as boxing voices around the world weighed in. Canelo Alvarez himself, a man who had shared the ring with both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, offered perhaps the most significant reaction. After the bout, Alvarez openly admitted that Crawford was superior, highlighting Crawford's adaptability, intelligence, and ability to mix offense and defense seamlessly. He acknowledged that while Mayweather defeated him earlier in his career, Crawford's performance at this stage proved even more difficult to handle.
A first ballot Hall of Famer, a 4-division champion, a 2-time undisputed super middleweight, and was the reigning undisputed 168-pound super middleweight world champion. Superstar boxer, Saul Canelo Alvarez, who is now 63 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. And Gervonta Tank Davis, I'm not even gonna read off his accolades, because what he did is just nasty work. And this is your king that y'all be praising. Gervonta Tank Davis, instead of applauding the accomplishments, just tip your hat. Just tip your hat. Hey, salute. And if you don't want to salute him, guess what? Just don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. If you don't want to salute that man, just don't say nothing. Right? And so, Gervonta Tank Davis takes to social media because the boxing world is praising Terence Crawford for what he did. After Gervonta Tank Davis, when the fight was announced and when Terence Crawford was saying he wanted to go up from 154 to 168, Gervonta Tank Davis said he was doing it for the money, not for the legacy.
Bob Arum, the veteran promoter who has guided careers of some of the greatest names in the sport, including both Mayweather and Crawford at different stages, also added his perspective. Arum argued that Crawford's ambidexterity, ability to switch effortlessly between orthodox and southpaw, and his complete skill set make him unique in boxing history. In his view, Crawford may not only be comparable to Mayweather, but potentially even surpass him when the final records are considered.
Wipes the floor with him. I love Crawford. I told you when Crawford and Spence that Crawford would beat the hell out of him, but Canelo is a different proposition. It's an interesting fight, but I think there's only one winner.
What fight would make the most? Why do you feel he wipes the floor with him?
What?
Is it because of the weight difference?
Because Canelo, Canelo is used to fighting at a particular level, and and I don't think that Terence can hurt Canelo, but Canelo can hurt Terence.
Do you think the welterweight Boots Ennis would stand a chance against Crawford? Or?
I have no idea, but I know that Boots Ennis is a tremendous fighter and a great talent. Whether he'd stand a chance with Crawford, I don't really know, because at 147, Crawford is I think, unbeatable.
Roy Jones Jr., himself a legend who once topped pound-for-pound lists, went even further in his praise. Jones suggested that Crawford's skill set reminded him of the rarest fighters in history, with the ability to alter strategies mid-fight and maintain complete control over every aspect of the contest. Jones said Crawford's performance against Canelo was evidence of a fighter reaching the pinnacle of his craft. He also floated the idea that Crawford, having accomplished something no one else had done, might even consider retirement on top.
Probably in your top 10, maybe even your top 5.
Where do you rank Terence, in your opinion?
I put him in the top 15, maybe the top 10, because he definitely has the skill of a top 5. Just that he hasn't had the opposition that some guys were able to get, and that's not his fault. He just made one of the best fighters in his weight class look like nobody. That's pretty damn good. Now he proved what we already thought. We just didn't see him against the best opposition near his weight class. See, this is the thing people don't understand. This is what I like about Bud. He reminds me of Roy. We ain't got to have the best opposition in our weight class. We want the best opposition near our weight class.
There's been discussion that maybe, Crawford and Inoue are going back and forth tussling for like pound for pound, that maybe Inoue because of the multiple weight divisions. You're shaking your head no. Tell me why no.
Because Inoue also, when he first moved up, he lost to Donnell. Don't forget that. Bud ain't lost nobody. Moving up or down, he moved up 3 times. He lost nobody. Don't tell me he better than Bud. No.
Keith Thurman, a former world champion at welterweight, admitted that he had initial doubts about Crawford moving up in weight. Thurman believed Canelo's natural size and power could prove too much. Yet, after watching the fight, Thurman was clear in his praise, describing Crawford's win as a boxing clinic. He pointed to the way Crawford used his jab, controlled distance, and shifted angles to keep Canelo off balance.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know the definition of boxing, it's to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks. All right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him. Not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe-to-toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a clinic.
Fernando Vargas, another respected former champion, offered a candid admission that he underestimated Crawford going into the fight. Vargas thought Canelo's experience and power would overwhelm the Nebraska native, but the result forced him to reevaluate. He praised Crawford's flawless execution, sharp technique, and superior ring control.
What's up, people? It's the morning after the big fight. Crawford Canelo. Shout outs to Crawford. You did it, boy. You did it. For those who still aren't quite sure what they witnessed last night, I'm going to let you know that you witnessed what is called a notorious boxing clinic. This is everything done right, okay? First, he worked behind the jab, people. Boxing 101. Set your shots up behind the jab. Canelo froze up. He was able to minimize the pressure. Step 2, use the ring. Use the ring. Get to the outside. Make Canelo pivot. Make him pivot. Don't let his feet settle. Okay? Pick your spots. This was a notorious hit and don't get hit. That's boxing 101, people. It's actually the definition of boxing. For those who don't know, the definition of boxing is to hit and not get hit. It's almost like a game of tag, to simplify it for you folks, all right? And yes, Crawford was tagging him, not just with the jab, moving, but he was able to do another key factor, which is get respect in the ring. He was able to hold his ground in pockets, work the body, go toe-to-toe, and catch him with that speed. Bah! With that speed, the straight left, the little uppercuts and the hooks to the body. Like I said, people, it was a...
Fernando Vargas Jr., son of Fernando Vargas, added a generational perspective. He observed that while Canelo's legacy remains secure, his long career of 70 professional fights has clearly taken a toll. Vargas Jr. argued that Canelo's reflexes, explosiveness, and punishing power have diminished with time, making him more vulnerable against a fighter as sharp and dynamic as Crawford. Though he respected Canelo's accomplishments, Vargas Jr. believed Crawford's victory came at a moment when Canelo's long years of wars had caught up with him.
Weight was going to be too much. It definitely wasn't. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. I ate my words up, you know what I mean? But ¿te acuerdas de esto? ¿Cómo es esta foto? Sí. Hace como 2 años. Sí.
Good. I was like, no, I'm not talking right now.
I have a green rope. You want one? I'll give you a coffee. All right, Carlos.
Excuse us.
Yeah. So, what was it?
What do you think happens next for both Canelo and Crawford?
I think that, man.
You got it.
Bud, I always knew that Bud was a great fighter. He can work both guards, orthodox and southpaw. Amazing talent.
Al Bernstein, one of boxing's most respected analysts, honed in on Crawford's unpredictability as the defining trait that set him apart. Bernstein explained that Crawford does not adhere to one rigid style, but constantly changes strategy, forcing opponents into confusion. Against Canelo, who thrives on counterpunching and timing, this adaptability was crucial.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer. Sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford. But I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can.
Teddy Atlas, the veteran trainer and commentator, provided another layer of analysis. Atlas focused on Crawford's mental gifts, his timing, instincts, and ability to read opponents. He suggested that Crawford possesses intangible qualities, ring IQ, craftiness, heart, that statistics cannot fully capture. Atlas admired the way Crawford has climbed weight classes without losing effectiveness, proving his skills translate at every level.
This is the eye test. Everyone he's been in there, he's won convincingly. I know with the Match for More fight, people want him to win big. It was his first time stepping up in weight to 154, and it was a guy with 300 amateur fights. Only had 10 pro fights, but he had 300 amateur fights, with the best international fighters in the world. And he had a very deliberate style, a very distinct style, a very awkward style in its own way. So people don't look at that. They don't look at the things, obviously, that I'm looking at, being a trainer, being in the business of boxing my whole life, 50 years of it.
Jeff Mayweather, uncle of Floyd Mayweather Jr., entered the discussion with a more skeptical stance. He suggested that Canelo's claim that Crawford is superior to Floyd might have been partly strategic, meant to elevate his opponent's reputation, and by extension soften the narrative of his own loss. Jeff acknowledged Crawford's skill and intelligence, but maintained that Floyd's defensive mastery remains unmatched. He emphasized Floyd's undefeated record, financial achievements, and dominance over champions as a standard not yet surpassed. For Jeff Mayweather, while Crawford's rise deserves respect, Floyd's legacy stands on a higher pedestal for now.
Crawford, do you think he stays there at 168? Does he go down to 160 and try to get another weight class? I'll start with him first. What's his next move? He said he doesn't want to rematch with Canelo, but that's, I think that'd be on the table. That's going to be a ton of money, obviously.
I think that the Canelo fight may be so big that it's a fight that he is going to actually probably say yes to.
I mean, he has to feel comfortable he can win again. It's not like he got a lucky in a one-punch knockout. He won that fight.
Yeah, he won the fight, so I mean, I don't see him being. There's no reason for him to be scared.
Right.
You know, and I think that that might be the fight that he'll take out of all the offers that's out there, because now he's at 68. He don't want to go backwards and go down in weight classes and things like that.
Beyond the experts, the reactions from fans and other fighters illustrated the significance of Crawford's accomplishment. Many online described the fight as a boxing clinic, noting how Crawford worked behind the jab, controlled space, and hit without being hit. Observers highlighted his ability to stand his ground when needed and then move with precision, never allowing Canelo to dictate. Some described the bout as a textbook example of boxing's purest principle, to hit and not get hit.
Smart fight, took the fight in the middle, let Canelo get off his steam early, came in the later rounds and just outboxed him for a very smart fight. Didn't stand in the middle for him, made him use the ring like Canelo doesn't like to do. He took the Erislander Lowry blueprint and used it very well. How surprised were you with Crawford's performance? Was you surprised? Not surprised at all. Not surprised at all. If you look at Erislander Lowry, you notice Bud never turned right-handed the whole fight, because he knew Erislander Lowry gave him most trouble because you used the ring on him as a southpaw.
How special is Terence Crawford as a fighter? First person to be three-way undisputed.
Terence is very special. He definitely goes in the top 10, maybe even the top 5 of the best pound for pound ever.
Do you think, is there anything more for him now, would you say?
Nothing else left for him. That was it. He can call it a day now if he wants to.
Fernando Vargas Sr. admitted he ate his words, recognizing that he had misjudged Crawford's abilities. His candid reflection showed the magnitude of the surprise many felt. Keith Thurman called it the definition of ring generalship. Teddy Atlas called it evidence of special intangibles. Roy Jones Jr. ranked Crawford among the very best in history. Bob Arum declared his skills possibly greater than Mayweather's. Canelo Alvarez himself acknowledged Crawford's superiority. Together, these voices painted a picture of a fighter whose reputation has dramatically shifted. The fight itself was a technical masterclass.
And he say he might be better than Mayweather. I can see it, because Crawford got a little bit of Mayweather in him, but he got the offense going on. It's not like all defense, blocking everything, points, you know. Crawford can actually hurt you. He's actually a fighter. He'll fight you. You know, he'll box you, but he'll fight you too. He ain't no joke.
Of all the fights you've had 50, who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds, but nothing really was tough. I've been in a boxing gym and guys have given me great sparring and great work. They say ass whooping will humble you. I go home and say, you gotta tighten up, champ.
Yeah.
You gotta get it together, champ. And then sometimes I go home and say, is this for me? I make mistakes, but I strive every day to be a perfectionist. And we all know God only made one thing perfect, and that's my boxing record.
You know, I didn't have to have 70 fights, or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
All right.
Judges scored it 116 to 112, 115 to 113, and 115 to 113, all in Crawford's favor. Crawford used sharp footwork to control range, landed precise jabs and counters, and absorbed Canelo's pressure without breaking. Even with a cut from an accidental headbutt, he maintained composure and never let the momentum swing away. His adaptability shone through, whether standing in front of Canelo to exchange or moving around the ring to frustrate him. Crawford, however, now carries accomplishments that rival Mayweather's: an undefeated streak, multiple undisputed titles, and victories over top-tier opponents like Errol Spence Jr. and Canelo Alvarez create a case for him as the best of his generation. His ability to hurt opponents, not just outpoint them, contrasts with Mayweather's more defensive style.
First, you know, he was a little frustrated in there, but that's part of the game.
The last question is, I know Trey, after the fight, have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy and your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. He wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, I think I was the better man tonight. I set my sights on doing something, and I know what I'm capable of. It's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me, but for me, I knew I could do it and I believed that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity.
Terence, when did you know that you were going to beat him? Over here on your left.
When he signed the contract.
He seemed to focus mostly on body punches, and you were hitting him in the head a lot. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. He wasn't hitting the body or anything. He was hitting my elbow because I was blocking it. But, I think I was the better man tonight.